The 18th century was a time of profound change. The Enlightenment was sweeping across Europe, challenging old hierarchies and sparking revolutions. The Industrial Revolution was beginning to transform societies, creating new industries and vast fortunes. Amidst this tumult, a new breed of entrepreneur emerged, men who understood the power of capital in a world on the brink of transformation. These were the pioneers of finance, and among them, one family would rise to become a legend, the Rothschilds. The story begins in the crowded Jewish ghetto of Frankfurt, Germany. Here, amidst the cramped lanes and bustling markets, Meyer Amschel Rothschild, the family patriarch, was born in 1744.
As a young man of exceptional intelligence and ambition, I quickly rose through the ranks of the financial world.
Meyer Amschel saw an opportunity to streamline transactions, creating a faster, more secure way to move capital. He strategically placed his 5 sons in major financial hubs: Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, and Naples. This network allowed the Rothschilds to operate across borders with unmatched speed and efficiency. One pivotal moment in the Rothschilds' rise came during the Napoleonic Wars. They financed both sides of the war, providing loans to governments and supplying armies.
Our intelligence network, honed to perfection, proved invaluable. We were among the first to receive news of Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo.
Nathan Mayer Rothschild, stationed in London, exploited this information, creating a panic in the market and buying back bonds at a fraction of their value. This audacious move cemented the Rothschilds' reputation as masters of finance. The Rothschilds' rise was a testament to family unity and shared ambition. Meyer Amschel Rothschild instilled in his sons a deep sense of loyalty and the importance of maintaining a united front. The 5 brothers, spread across Europe, operated as one entity, sharing information, resources, and profits. This unified approach gave them an unparalleled advantage in European finance. They communicated through a system of couriers, using coded messages to ensure secrecy. Their ability to move money and information faster than competitors was key to their success. The Napoleonic Wars proved to be a defining period for the Rothschilds.
One of our most audacious moves was financing both sides of the conflict. We provided loans to Britain and its allies, while simultaneously funding Napoleon's war chest.
Their courier network, operating with remarkable efficiency, often received crucial information first. This intelligence, coupled with their willingness to make bold moves, allowed them to amass fortunes.
Upon receiving early news of Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo, I spread rumors of a French victory, causing a panic on the London Stock Exchange.
With the Napoleonic Wars behind them, the Rothschilds emerged as the masters of European finance. They poured their capital into ventures that would transform the world, financing the rise of industries and empires. They recognized the potential of railroads and invested heavily in their development across Europe. Their backing helped build the infrastructure that powered the Industrial Revolution. The Rothschilds also financed governments, providing loans for infrastructure projects and military campaigns. Their investments extended beyond Europe, including diamond mines in South Africa and the construction of the Suez Canal. While masters of accumulating wealth, the Rothschilds were also known for their philanthropy. They believed in giving back to the communities where they lived and worked. From funding hospitals and orphanages to establishing educational institutions, their legacy extends far beyond finance. They founded schools and universities, recognizing that knowledge was key to progress and social mobility. They provided scholarships to talented students from underprivileged backgrounds. Their legacy of philanthropy continues to inspire generations, a testament to the enduring power of compassion and generosity. With a firm grip on the financial heart of Europe, the Rothschilds expanded their empire. Each son, strategically placed in a major European city, spearheaded the family's ventures. Nathan, stationed in London, established the Rothschilds as a force in the city of London. James in Paris cultivated relationships with influential figures, financing railway construction and the French wine industry. In Vienna, Salomon secured a foothold in the Habsburg Empire, financing the Austrian National Bank. Their coordinated efforts created a financial network of unprecedented reach and influence. The Rothschilds understood that true power lay not just in wealth, but in wielding influence in the corridors of power. They cultivated relationships with heads of state, ministers, and diplomats. Their financial clout gave them access to privileged information and a seat at the table where the fate of nations was decided. They used their influence strategically, often playing different factions against each other. This neutrality allowed them to navigate European politics with remarkable agility. They financed both sides of conflicts, profited from peace treaties, and emerged more influential than before. As the Rothschild empire expanded, so did the family itself. Marriages produced a sprawling network of cousins, nephews, and in-laws, all vying for position within the family business. The 5 branches maintained unity in the early years, sharing information and coordinating activities, but as generations passed, rivalries emerged, fueled by competition for capital and influence. The London and Paris branches often clashed over investment opportunities. As the 19th century drew to a close, new financial institutions emerged, challenging the Rothschilds' dominance. Despite internal rivalries and new competitors, the Rothschilds' impact on finance is undeniable. They were pioneers in international banking, developing innovative financial instruments and techniques. Their early adoption of a branch banking system and mastery of foreign exchange transactions laid the groundwork for globalized financial markets. They demonstrated the power of diversification, investing in a wide range of industries and assets. The Rothschilds played a significant role in the development of bond markets, revolutionizing government finance. Their legacy lives on in the global financial system, a testament to ambition, family unity, and financial innovation. The Rothschilds' ascent to financial power was the result of calculated risk-taking and innovative strategies. Their genius lay in their ability to adapt, exploiting new technologies and emerging markets. They diversified their investments, financing railroads, mines, government bonds, and emerging technologies. Their network of agents provided up-to-the-minute intelligence, allowing them to anticipate trends and outmaneuver rivals. The Rothschilds were masters of arbitrage, exploiting price differences between markets. Their understanding of foreign exchange rates and ability to move capital quickly allowed them to profit from discrepancies. The Rothschilds' financial acumen was demonstrated in their strategic investments and acquisitions. They identified undervalued assets in sectors poised for growth, shaping industries and influencing economic history. Their involvement in the Rio Tinto mines transformed it into a profitable copper producer. They played a pivotal role in the global diamond trade, financing De Beers and creating lasting demand for diamonds. The Rothschilds invested in infrastructure projects, connecting markets and facilitating trade. Their financing of railroads, canals, and telegraph lines helped lay the groundwork for a more interconnected world. Section 3. Political chessboard, wielding influence, shaping destinies. The Rothschilds understood that financial power, wielded strategically, could translate into significant political influence. They cultivated relationships with heads of state, ministers, and diplomats, becoming trusted advisors and discreet negotiators in the highest echelons of European power. Their financial clout gave them access to privileged information and a seat at the table where the fate of nations was decided. Governments, often cash-strapped and desperate for loans, sought their counsel and relied on their financial backing to fund wars, infrastructure projects, and even social reforms. One notable example of their political influence was their role in the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars. With Europe in disarray, the Rothschilds helped to stabilize currencies, finance reconstruction efforts, and even broker peace treaties. Their involvement went beyond mere financial transactions. They were instrumental in reshaping the political landscape of Europe. The Rothschilds' influence wasn't always overt or heavy-handed. They preferred to work behind the scenes, using their financial leverage to advance their interests and shape outcomes. Their discreet involvement in international affairs earned them both admiration and suspicion, fueling conspiracy theories that persist to this day. Section 4. A Dynasty Under Siege, Anti-Semitism and the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds' unprecedented success and influence, however, came at a price. As their wealth and power grew, so too did the tide of anti-Semitism that followed them like a shadow. They were often targeted with accusations of manipulating markets, controlling governments, and profiting from the misfortune of others. These accusations were often rooted in deeply ingrained prejudices against Jews, who were frequently stereotyped as greedy, untrustworthy, and disloyal to the nations in which they lived. The Rothschilds, with their vast wealth and international connections, became easy targets for these prejudices. Despite facing discrimination and outright hostility, the Rothschilds refused to be cowed. They continued to build their businesses, expand their influence, and contribute to the societies in which they lived. Their philanthropy, which transcended religious and ethnic boundaries, was often seen as a way to counter the negative stereotypes and demonstrate their commitment to the common good. The Rothschild story is a stark reminder that even in the face of extraordinary achievement, prejudice and discrimination can cast a long shadow. Their experiences serve as a cautionary tale, highlighting the dangers of scapegoating and the importance of combating intolerance in all its forms. Section 1. The Rothschilds and the Rise of Nations. Bankrolling Empires. The 19th century was a time of nation-building, with empires rising and falling across the globe. The Rothschilds financed emperors and presidents alike. They were brokers of political power. Brazil's independence from Portugal in the 1820s. Emperor Pedro I turned to the Rothschilds for funds. A loan of £2 million solidified Brazilian independence. The Rothschilds funded U.S. westward expansion. Loans helped build crucial railroads. During the 1848 European revolutions, they provided loans to both sides, masters at profiting from instability. Section 2. A Balancing Act, Navigating Wars and Revolutions. The Rothschilds maintained financial dominance through wars by playing both sides. Masters of neutrality, they kept relationships with all governments. During the Crimean War, they provided loans to both sides. This strategy ensured profits regardless of the outcome. They saw war as big business and aimed to profit. The American Civil War was another opportunity for their financial skills. Section 3. The Suez Canal. A canal runs through it, and Rothschild pockets. The Rothschilds financed the Suez Canal, a monumental engineering feat connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. It revolutionized global trade but was a financial gamble. Spearheaded by Ferdinand de Lesseps, the project faced harsh conditions and high costs. The Rothschilds saw its strategic importance and potential profits. They remained committed, investing millions and securing political support. Section 4. A World Transformed. The Legacy of Rothschild Influence. By the dawn of the 20th century, the Rothschilds' wealth and influence had reached its zenith. Their name had become synonymous with financial power, and their reach extended to every corner of the globe. They had financed wars and revolutions, bankrolled empires, and helped to shape the course of history. Their legacy, however, is complex and multifaceted. They were ruthless businessmen, driven by profit and an unyielding ambition to expand their empire. But they were also visionaries who recognized the power of finance to transform societies, to connect markets, and to fuel economic growth. Their investments in infrastructure such as railroads, canals, and telegraph lines helped to create a more interconnected world, laying the groundwork for globalization. Their financing of governments, while often motivated by self-interest, also contributed to the development of nations and the expansion of political power. The Rothschild story is ultimately a human one, a tale of ambition, rivalry, and the pursuit of wealth and power. But it is also a story about the transformative power of money the complex interplay between finance and politics, and the enduring legacy of a family that, for better or for worse, left an indelible mark on the world. As the Rothschilds amassed wealth and influence, whispers evolved into conspiracy theories, painting them as puppet masters controlling global events. These narratives depicted the Rothschilds as a cabal of greedy financiers, pulling strings behind the scenes. Their financing of both sides of the Napoleonic Wars was portrayed as evidence of a desire to perpetuate conflict. Their immense wealth made them easy targets for those seeking to blame economic hardship on powerful forces. One of the most insidious and enduring conspiracy theories linked to the Rothschilds is the infamous Protocols of the Elders of Zion. This fabricated document, purporting to be the minutes of a secret meeting of Jewish leaders plotting world domination, was first published in Russia in 1903 and quickly spread throughout Europe and beyond. The protocols laid out a detailed plan for Jewish control of the world through manipulation of the media, financial systems, and governments. It accused Jews of fomenting wars, undermining traditional values, and seeking to establish a global tyranny with themselves at the helm. The Rothschilds, with their vast wealth and influence, were explicitly named in the protocols as key players in this alleged conspiracy. The document claimed they controlled international banking, financed revolutions, and used their power to advance a nefarious Jewish agenda. Despite overwhelming evidence proving the protocols to be a crude forgery, likely concocted by the Tsarist secret police in Russia, its impact was devastating and long-lasting. It provided a veneer of legitimacy to deeply ingrained anti-Semitic beliefs, fueling violence, discrimination, and ultimately contributing to the horrors of the Holocaust. The Rothschild conspiracy theories found fertile ground in the pervasive anti-Semitism that plagued Europe for centuries. Jews were easy targets for accusations of disloyalty, greed, and clandestine manipulation. Propaganda played a key role in spreading these harmful narratives. Anti-Semitic newspapers and pamphlets depicted the Rothschilds as spider-like figures controlling governments. The Nazi regime exploited anti-Rothschild sentiment, accusing them of financing Germany's enemies. Section 4. Beyond the myths, separating fact from fiction. The Rothschilds were powerful, but conspiracy theories distort history and ignore global finance complexities. They were businessmen, driven by profit and expansion. Their political involvement protected investments and ensured business conditions. Portraying them as puppet masters ignores the agency of individuals and historical forces. The Rothschilds were players in a larger game, not controllers of global events. As the 20th century unfolded, the Rothschilds' financial might began to wane. The rise of new industries and two world wars reshaped the global economic landscape. The Rothschilds navigated a world less reliant on their discrete, family-run banking. Nationalism and financial regulations impacted their fortunes. Governments began to assert economic independence, establishing central banks. The Rothschilds adapted, focusing on investment banking and philanthropy. They remained a significant force in global finance, operating behind the scenes. Despite the waning of their direct financial dominance, the Rothschilds left an indelible mark on the world. Their name, synonymous with wealth, power, and a touch of mystery, continues to resonate in the popular imagination. Their story, a tapestry woven from threads of ambition, innovation, and controversy, still captivates and inspires, even as it fuels persistent myths and conspiracy theories. Their legacy can be seen in the grand buildings they financed, from stately homes and vineyards to museums and hospitals, tangible reminders of their wealth and philanthropy. Their name adorns streets and institutions across Europe, a testament to their enduring influence and their contributions to society. But their legacy is also bound up with the persistent myths and accusations that have followed them for centuries. The conspiracy theories, fueled by anti-Semitism and a distrust of concentrated wealth, continue to circulate, finding new life in the digital age. The Rothschilds, in death as in life, remain enigmatic figures, their true motivations, and the extent of their influence a matter of debate and speculation. They serve as a Rorschach test for our views on wealth, power, and the role of finance in society. The Rothschilds of today are a far cry from the financial titans of the 19th century. Their businesses, while still substantial, operate on a more modest scale, catering to a niche clientele of wealthy individuals and families. They have largely eschewed the limelight, preferring to focus on managing their investments and preserving their family legacy. However, the Rothschild name still carries weight in certain circles. Their expertise in finance, art, and philanthropy is sought after by those seeking to leverage their connections and experience. They continue to be involved in a range of charitable endeavors, supporting causes related to education, healthcare, and the arts. The family has also made efforts to combat the persistent conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic tropes that have plagued them for generations. They have funded research into the origins of these harmful narratives and have spoken out against intolerance and discrimination. The Rothschilds of the 21st century are acutely aware of the burden of their family history. They are working to redefine their legacy, shifting the focus from wealth and power to a more nuanced narrative of philanthropy, social responsibility, and a commitment to making a positive impact on the world. The Rothschild saga is more than just a tale of financial success or a cautionary tale about the perils of wealth and power. It is a story that reflects the complexities of human ambition, the interplay of fortune and misfortune, and the enduring legacy of a family that, for better or for worse, helped to shape the modern world. Their story reminds us that even the most powerful empires are subject to the shifting sands of time. It also highlights the dangers of prejudice and the importance of separating fact from fiction, especially when it comes to narratives about wealth, power, and influence. The Rothschilds, for all their flaws and contradictions, left an indelible mark on the world. Their story continues to fascinate and inspire, serving as a reminder that even in a world driven by money and power, there is always room for ambition, innovation, and the enduring power of family.